Hello, guys. I am super excited as we are back to the Empowered Queen Show with your host, and I hope your favorite host, Marshea Mayfield, guys. I really missed you, and I have really, truly enjoyed the comments that you all are sharing with us. Please don't stop. Do not stop sharing. Do not stop typing. Do not stop emailing me, guys, because I need your feedback so that I can ensure that I continue to get the best of the best to you. So today, I went all the way to London, guys, to get you the best. Do you hear me? When I took a journey mentally to London today to bring you our special guest, Miss Audreia Josephs. Guys, she is so passionate about what she do, and I cannot wait to have the opportunity for you to hear her story, her testimony, her overcoming, just amazing. So Audreia, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey ladies. Hi, Marshea. Hi.
Awesome.
It's me.
Don't you guys
I'm excited.
I love it. So Audreia, we're going to jump right in. I want you to tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about you. Allow us to know you.
Okay. I was born in the UK. As you heard, my name's Audreia Josephs. Born in the UK to Jamaican parents. First generation, born in the 60s in the UK. I am one of 9 on my mother's side, and I'm not sure how many on my father's side because he never really owned up fully. But I'm the mother of 3. I have 3 stepchildren and 12 grandchildren. I turned 55 in June, and I have just written a book called Forgiveness, The Journey to Healing the Heart.
Wow.
And I'm also a forgiveness coach, known also as the Forgiveness Godmother.
So I have plenty of questions around this. First of all, Audrey, I am excited the fact that you are a mother, you are a daughter, you are a sister. So therefore, what that tells me is that you can relate to basically every woman on this platform in some form, fashion, or another.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, and not only that, you're an author. What's the name of the book again? I'm sorry.
Forgiveness, The Journey to Healing the Heart.
And you also you coach people, you teach people how to forgive. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man, that's my passion. That's my passion. It is not the most glamorous type of coaching, but I love getting my working boots on and we get the shovel and we get in there. We get in there, we dig in. So it's one of my favorite things.
Awesome. So what are some of the things that most of your clients or people that, that call you, what are some of the things they're mostly dealing with?
Well, they usually tend to think that it's usually something that's done against them, but they forget what they've done to others.
Wow.
And also, there are so many different aspects of forgiveness. I mean, I speak about forgiveness of countries to countries, nations to nations, because people tend to forget about that type of forgiveness.
Wow. Now that's great. So if I was a person that had, dealt with some type of trauma in my life, what would you tell me? How would you support me?
Well, I'm coming from trauma myself. I was a battered child for 10 years by my mother. Basically abandoned by my father. He left my mother when she was just a few months pregnant with me and sort of just revolving in and out of my life. And I was also sexually abused as an 8-year-old child. So, and been through a lot of trauma, and I'm in my second marriage. So there's a lot happening in my real world. So I wouldn't profess to be the oracle on every, stuff, but I can share my journey and my passion and just connect heart to heart.
Awesome. So with that being said, do you have a strategy or a tip that you could possibly leave with the listeners and the viewers as far as how to honestly, not necessarily overcome it, but to fight the process, to continue to push? What would you say to that person that may be dealing with this trauma and they don't know what their next step is?
Well, the first thing I had to recognize in my own life was to love me. It was the key, self-love. I did mirror work. So I looked in the mirror, looked in my eyes and said, I love you, even when I thought it was a joke, because I'm coming from a background that did not empower me. There was no one saying you were beautiful, you can do it. I mean, I was constantly told you are not good enough. You are a joke, you know, and that was by my own family and, you know, some members of my family. And so it left me feeling quite insecure. So for me, I love empowering. I want to offer women what I wanted in my life. I want to be that person. So one of the key things I always seek to remember is that forgiveness is a choice. It's a choice. It's not something that you read in a book or whatever. You wake up one morning, you know, you prayed for it, you wake up one morning, it happens. You have to choose it.
Wow. That's so deep, and the reason I asked you to share that, because I know that some of the comments that I've received from the listeners and the viewers are that they're dealing with something so in depth. And a lot of times as women, we don't feel comfortable or, you know, confident enough to really honestly just be naked and just say, this is what I'm dealing with. And therefore, by them not being naked, they don't know how to get help because they are most times in denial, you know, that this thing is going on. So how would you how do you identify a person that's struggling with forgiveness and loving themselves?
Well, for me, the people seem to be somewhat drawn to me, maybe because they recognize within me something within themselves, so we seem to connect. But for me, it's always such an important thing to, like I always say, start with the self, start with you, and always remember that forgiveness is a two-way street. It's a two-way street, you know, when we're not coming at it, this is what you've done. And sometimes that's the key problem, the narrative, what we have going on in here, the constant loop, what we're saying to ourselves. And so what we've got to do is interrupt that process. We've got to find things, and that's what I had to do, because this forgiveness journey, I haven't always been this person that you see today. In fact, I remember on occasion when I was in the church, and I remember someone looking at me and saying to someone else about me that she's very unforgiving. And I was in church, singing on the choir, Kathy, everything, and someone recognized she's unforgiving. And I wasn't acting any particular bitter way, but it was just that someone, maybe something had happened, and maybe the way but that's coming from my past and how I displayed that. But so I wasn't always this person. I wasn't always here forgiving, but it was a choice because I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just lay down and I had to surrender. Really, it was either that or the mental institution for me.
Wow. Either or, huh? One of the other.
I don't have middle grounds. Either or either. No middle ground.
So listeners, I want you guys to catch this, and I want you to type this in the comment. If this is you, if you've ever dealt with or you feel that you're dealing with unforgiveness, whether a person, you know, as she said, molested, raped, your parents, your spouses, your children, whatever it is, I want you to get this on this call and to say to yourself, I surrender. And Audreia just said that. Just surrender. Surrender yourselves, because what we don't want is for you to continue this journey of life. And 10 years from now, you're looking and you saying, where did those 10 years go? I hated life. And you know, we're smiling and we got the nice clothes and we're living, we're moving, but we're miserable and unhappy because of someone else we're not forgiving. And I'm so glad you shared that, Audrey, because me, as a person, I've often shared my testimony that I have myself has been molested. I have been raped. I have been, you know, just so many different things in my life that could have hindered me from moving forward. And what I wanted to do was get mad and just ball up in a knot. But I couldn't. And I'm so glad you're sharing this. I had to surrender. And that's why now I openly share this with people, that this happened to me. because I surrendered that this happened. So it helps me when I talk about it to other people, not to hold myself hostage and allow this thing to hold me, bound me, to hinder me.
Yeah.
So I really love your message that you are willing to be this vessel for other women, to really empower women, to help us to be empowered queen, guys. Do you get this? Audrey is sharing with you how you can truly empower yourself in your life, no matter what you face. No matter. Now, Audrey, tell us a little bit about your book.
Okay, so it chronicles my parents in Jamaica and how their relationship was before they got to the UK. And I had brothers and sisters, 2 brothers and sisters. My mother had from my father, and then they split up. Because my father, he was a policeman. He met my mother when she was 14.
Wow.
Yeah, and he moved her into his mother's house. And tumultuous relationship, fighting. And then my mother was still in Jamaica. She had other children with other people. And then my father came to the UK. With his brother came first, and then he came. They came in the 50s.
Wow.
To the UK. And what happened was my father had a woman that he was fond of, and he was going to bring her to the UK.
That's a nice way to put it. Have you ever heard of that? You know, he was fond of.
And he was going to bring another woman to the UK. But what happened was word got back to him that she was pregnant for someone else. So my father was really mad that he was going to lose a substantial amount of money. So my uncle, who loved my mom, he knew my mom obviously from Jamaica, he said to my dad, why don't you give my mom, you need a chance to come to the UK? So my father brought my mom to the UK, all not telling her that he was living with someone else part-time. So she's got to UK and she doesn't know anyone. She gets to where he's living in rented rooms. They're living in rented rooms, and after a while they start fighting. And my mom, she's only a little petite woman, and my father is 6'5" taller than that, and my mother is about 5 foot, and my mom's a good fighter. Beat my daddy up.
Wow.
And so they split up, and during the split up, I don't know, maybe during the fighting, but somewhere along the line, here I am.
That making up, that'll get you every time.
She was pregnant. He was not around. She was struggling all by herself, only knowing my uncle in a strange, cold country compared to Jamaica. And she found a job, but she had to pretend that she wasn't pregnant, because in the 60s in the UK, if they found out that you was an unmarried mother, they would take the baby away, social services. So my mother wore oversized clothes. She used a length of cloth, tied her belly down so no one knew she was pregnant. And during that period also was working to send for her brother, because she recognized that she needed someone here to whatever. Anyway, my father came back to the house when my mother was at work when she was 7 months pregnant, and he moved everything out, left her with nothing, completely cleared the room. Wow. And she struggled, at 7 months, but she still continued. I don't know how she did it. I have to salute her for that.
Yes.
And for sure. And what happened was she had me. She was having a bath, and she stepped out of the bath, and there I was, born on the bathroom floor.
Wow, what an entry into the world, guys.
June the 21st, summer solstice, the longest day of the year, could not be nothing normal. Regular.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. So I was born. By then, my uncle Grantley had come to the UK, my mum's brother, younger brother, and my mum had bought a wedding ring and pretended that her brother was her husband in the hospital.
Yes.
Because she didn't want him to take me away, because previously, a friend of hers had told the people that she was working with that she was having a baby, and when her son was born, they took him away.
Oh, wow.
And my mother didn't want them to take me away, so she struggled and continued everything. Not seeing my father she didn't see my father for 2 years after that.
Mm.
And then one day found out where he lived and marched me and her straight to his house and started bleep, 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 bleep.
Oh, wow.
I learned a lot of swear that day as a kid. Yeah. Yeah, and the strange thing, what happened, well, sad, and I understand, was that after that, we had a great relationship, my mother and myself, up until that point. Mm. And then that day, I think that's when she was broken.
Oh, wow.
I think she was broken because my father announced that day to her that he had a son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she was with someone else, and there she was
God.
struggling with me. So, you know, it's been a journey. You know, and moving through all of that, obviously she met someone else, and I think I was 3 years old when she met this man, and that's when he started basically grooming me until I got to, and then I had other brothers and sisters from that man.
Right.
Until he sexually molested me at the age of 8, and that was something that I did not remember happening until I gave birth to my son 10 years later. I gave birth and the memory opened up. And that was completely traumatic because up until that point, I couldn't understand why I was so angry. I didn't recognize anything about it. So for me, he was my dad, and that's all I knew, daddy. So actually having this revelation in the midst of giving birth was very traumatic, and it's something that I had to work through.
I can only imagine, because as a mother giving birth, it's like one of the most emotional moments of our life. And to having to face another tragic, not another tragedy, but a tragedy along with a moment you're supposed to be happy.
Yeah, it's trauma.
And emotions just running wild. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was 18 at the time when I had my firstborn, and being a teenage mom, it was really, 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 I just was tense and angry and did not understand, and it took a long time to recognize what really happened, but in the midst of that, before I got to that, before the 10 years, before having my son, in the midst of that, after meeting my father, my mother changed so much that she started beating me, and really she was just absolutely awful. And this continued until I was 15, 16. She broke my ribs, I'd been stabbed, and the other children were not treated like that. And I recognized that she hated my father that much, that she took it out on me, because she kept saying, when she looked at me, she would see him. And the problem with that was when I went out, people kept saying I looked like her. So for me, it was very, Wow.
So that's just so ironic that she fought so hard to keep you here.
Yeah.
And to protect you and save you, and how circumstances in her life made that woman that fought so hard turn into a different woman.
Yeah. She did. I don't know, because before that, prior to that, we had songs together. She used to have a personal dressmaker, and she used to have her dresses made, and what was left over, she'd have a dress made for me. And back in the 60s, it used to be a community thing that people used to have parties in their homes, and she used to go, and she always used to bring me along. I was a dancer, and I used to get paid. I was an entrepreneur way
at a young age.
At the age of 3, I was dancing for money. So we had a great relationship up until the day when she went to my father's house, and everything changed. The amount of damage, I've had head injuries, stitches in both sides, head split open, unconscious. You know, the way she did stuff to me, it was a bit like wrestling, you know, pinned down, and it was a lot. And it was much harder because my brothers and sisters, they would see how I was treated, you know, and so I felt like nothing in that family. Nothing. Nothing. And that's how I grew up, feeling like nothing. No one had my back.
Now, is this how your book come about? Is this the story that you choose to tell in your book?
Yeah. I spoke about it from, as I say, my parents in Jamaica coming to the UK, and then me growing up, going through my whole journeys as a child. I sang with the choir on the BBC. I did all sorts of stuff like that. You know, I was a gifted child, but no one nurtured it. I was a great artist, but back in the 60s in the UK, and racism, as a black child, you weren't given that kind of opportunity. So for me, it was it was a journey, but I'm a survivor. I'm here.
Yes, survivor. Yes. So, guys, what I want you to gather from what she's saying and what I took from it. And the thing I love about the guests that come on is not only to support you, but the things that they teach and share. I mean, I'm open to receive. And today you have really blessed me, because the thing that I took from it is how not forgiving affected her mother. Like, her mother seemed to could not affect, forgive your father. So therefore you took it. And the other thing, though, the wonderful thing, the empowered queen type of thing, if that's even a word, that I love, is that from your hurt and from your pain come your book. This come a title as author, because you chose to tell your story and not allow that thing to hinder you any longer. And you're not afraid of who read it and what they think. When I say that, I mean our families, because a lot of times we think, can I honestly tell this? Can I honestly share this? What would my loved ones say about this? And therefore we're still remaining defeated, because now I'm still trying to protect someone else when no one protected me. So I say to you, and another one of the speakers shared, that you have a story inside of you. And along with what Audreia is saying, is that you can take your pain and turn into something beautiful, that your message today, Audreia, is blessing someone that's listening. And guys, if you're that person right now, reach out to her. Get in her inbox. Find her on social media. Contact me. Let me put you in touch, because I want you to have the breakthrough that you need with the person that has experienced the pain that you possibly are experiencing. And if you're, for some reason, you can't even think or imagine, is this really me? Like, you may be in a place like, well, I think, and I maybe, like the lady at church, when she called you out, you was thinking like, that can't be me. But she saw something in you that you did not even recognize. It was there. And then once God began to unfold these things and these leaves, and you'd be like, oh God, this is me. This is awful. How did I get here? But you made something beautiful out of it. So beautiful. And so now, can you tell the listeners and the viewers how they could reach you? How could they have a conversation with you?
Sure. I'm on Facebook, a Facebook group, Audreia Josephs. I've also got a email, and that's Audreia at audreiajosephs.com. Audreia spelled Audreia at Audreia Joseph, Josephs.
Awesome. Now, how do if they're interested in purchasing their book?
Okay, I'm on Amazon.
Awesome. Now, what's the name of the book again?
Forgiveness: The Journey to Healing the Heart.
The journey. You don't happen to have a copy there nearby, do you?
Ooh.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So let's hold it still there. Let's see. Okay, viewers, you definitely can get a copy of this book. It's available on Amazon, guys. Reach out. I mean, it's not for yourself, for someone that you can support or help, a great gift. Okay? Awesome. So in the comment section, as always, post your comments there, guys. If you need any other assistance, let me know. If you have any ideas, suggestions, let me know again, because I want to make sure that I deliver to you what's going to change your life, what's going to create that breakthrough that you have needed forever, because I want you at your highest level of success. Is that all right? Yes, yes. I can just imagine you guys saying yes. That's just how I imagine. But remember, Audrey, thank you so very much. So very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And we are about 7 hours time difference. So it's bedtime for her, and it's time for dinner for me. So she has been amazing at working with me as far as our schedule and our time. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I do. And for you guys, you know, this is Marshea, the host of the Empowered Queen Show. But I want to leave you with this right here. You can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens you. Yes, you can. Thank you guys so much.